Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPod Nano and see how this particular iPod holds up in 2025. Now, a really big thing you're going to have to remember about the iPod Nano is that this is an MP3 player. There wasn't really too much else kind of going on within these types of, platforms or devices for the most part. It was a pretty basic type of layout. There really wasn't anything super insane kind of going on with it. So that is just one of those things to keep in mind here because, it's a MP3 player. These things have quickly gone somewhat out of fashion, as you can probably imagine. A lot of people don't really look at iPods anymore as usable devices. They typically only look at them as kind of like nostalgia type of devices. So just kind of keep that in mind. With an iPod though, there are some reasons why you might actually want to go and kind of consider one in this day and age. Number one, a really cool thing about iPods is the fact that they are dedicated music players. So you could just store as much music as your storage provides inside of these types of devices. And you could actually alleviate some of that storage that you might have inside of your phone. So let's say you have like a MacBook or you have some sort of device that has a bunch of storage built in. And you don't want to go through and just waste that storage on MP3 files you have already stored. You can port that over into some sort of an iPod. And then you can go through and just kind of use that iPod as you normally would. And, you can take it wherever you want to with you. It's just going to take off some storage that you might have inside of your phone that's taken up inside of these types of devices. So that is something that's actually really nice that you can kind of just throw in from that particular side. It's also very compact. Like it's not really that, it's not a massive device. It's pretty small. So that right there is another really cool thing kind of going on here too. And the battery life of the iPod Nanos are very, very good. They really don't take up that much space. And that right there is another really big advantage because you're going to be able to go through and pick up a device like this and basically get a really good experience from it from that particular side. It's not perfect though. There are some downsides of it. And number one, there isn't really any like Wi-Fi or data connectivity you can get within it. The reason why that's important is because if you wanted to go through and basically stream any music on Spotify or SoundCloud, you're not really going to be able to get that type of capability there. So that right there, I think is kind of a downside. If you are going to go through and pick up a device, that right there is probably going to be one of the bigger downsides, at least for me. I really want to be able to go through and get a device that is going to be able to give me some type of capability there. Unfortunately, with something like this one, there's not really too much capability when it comes down to that side. So that right there is going to be one big thing to keep in mind there. On top of that, when it comes down to basically its, features and applications built inside, there's just not really that many applications built inside of it. There's just not that much capability. So that right there is going to be another somewhat minor thing to kind of keep in mind because that can be kind of like a big downside depending on who you are. And if I'm about to go through and pick up a device, I definitely want to be able to go through and pick up a device that is going to be giving me maybe a little bit better capability. And that is kind of what's going on there for the most part. Now, on top of that, like I said, these iPod Nanos, they are a little bit older. So because of that, their battery life, if it's degraded by a lot, might be giving you some issues there too. It may not be the biggest deal, but it can be, again, just one of those other things that you might have to see that you might run into when it comes down to this type of device. So overall, what I'll tell you is that these iPod Nanos, they still are very cool. They're still very like nostalgic type of devices. I probably will tell you I wouldn't really recommend people to buy these things anymore, but there are still a lot of capability when it comes down to these iPods. And if you want to use them as MP3 players, I'd say go ahead. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.